The seventh vertical is manufacturing. Now this is similar to warehouse. Okay, so in terms of the multipath interference and coverage designs, it is pretty much similar to warehouses. Okay, let's say coverage design, because the manufacturing plant also would have heavy machinery or heavy machines and robotics happening there. Okay, so we have to make sure that the guy who's doing a survey takes full precautions, because he has to take care of the fact that he might not get affected by the heavy machines, or he may not probably get damaged by the heavy machines running in the manufacturing plant. During the surveys, you have to make sure that you understand where the belts are, the conveyor belts are, where the heavy machineries are, so that you can mark it in the floor plan and write the right and enter the right attenuation, because these are really heavy conveyor belts, absolutely full metal. So make sure you enter all those things in the way in the tool where you mark the attenuation, right? Also, some of the manufacturing plants work with the hazardous chemicals and materials, which means you have to make sure that you wear protection, and the ruggedized access points need to be used. So for the hazardous materials, always make sure you have the right access point and the right material that you're wearing, so that you are also safe. In these scenarios, as I said, rugged access points is what usually customers prefer, because they have a special certification that allow the access points to be used in that ruggedized environment. So yeah, pretty much this is it on manufacturing. I'll just share one example. So we were deploying a Wi-Fi network in a manufacturing plant for one of our customers, and so they had a very specific. I'll just try to draw that somewhere here so that you get an idea. So during this, in this entire manufacturing plant, what they would do is they would assemble the products on this conveyor belt, which would move here and there, and then they would, in this area, like outside this area, from here to here, this would be where the people would scan the products. There would be desks here around the conveyor belt where they would scan the products and keep moving, and then the assembling would happen somewhere in this area. Okay, now once the assembling is done, the vehicle that was created would be parked here like this. They all would be parked here like this, and the software will be pushed into the vehicles. Now remember this, guys, if you do this kind of a network, or if you do this kind of a deployment, then the RF scanners used in this conveyor belt area, this SSID has to be 2.4 gigahertz, and the focus should be on coverage, not capacity. You just have 5 to 10 scanners, or 10, 11, 12, 15 scanners somewhere, which are working on the Wi-Fi here, scanning the products. But when you do a deployment, or when you design the network for this area where the softwares are being pushed, softwares are pushed into the vehicles. Okay, here you need good dense deployment, because each vehicle is being pushed in. The software file was somewhere around 1 GB, if I'm not remember. So at one time they would have 7 or 8 trucks being installed, or the softwares are pushed in 7 or 8 trucks together. So you need to make sure that these are done on 5 gigahertz. You do not want them to be on 2.4, and I'm pretty sure if the devices which we were working on were definitely 5 supporting, so we enabled the SSID on 5 gigahertz so that the client should connect, and this installation was a cakewalk. If I had designed this keeping coverage in mind on 2.4, this would have been a disaster, because I would be then making sure that all the data rates are allowed, even 1 to 2 Mbps, and then it would have really been a problem, because the trucks connecting on 1 Mbps, 2 Mbps, or 5.5 Mbps would not be able to fetch data from the AP at that speed. Okay, so understand from the customer, understand the use case from the customer, and then take a call and design accordingly. So ask as many questions as you can. There is no problem in that. And then discuss your plan with the customer before you start the survey, and then once you're all on the same page, that's when you begin the survey. So this was about manufacturing. I think the next vertical would be multi-tenant buildings. We'll discuss about that in the next video. Thank you.